Welcome back to the Bills bunker. What a beatdown we just watched from the Baltimore Ravens, just destroying the Buffalo Bills. The Bills had no answers for the Ravens in this game, and it was really from the very get-go that the Baltimore Ravens asserted their dominance on the Bills. We're going to talk all about this game and just how awful it was, what went wrong for the Bills, what they can correct moving forward, and there's not really much positives to take away, but we're gonna try to do the best we can to do that right after this.
Go Bills.
Look at this. Look at this crowd. Look at this.
Yes, it makes us wanna shout. Shout.
1, 2, 3, 4 years in a row. AFC East champion in our division. Let's go.
That's a nice.
Welcome back to the Bills bunker, everybody. Here we go. Post-game reaction after the Buffalo Bills got blown out by the Baltimore Ravens. What a disaster. I want to hear your thoughts about this game in the comment section below. Really, I'm not too thrilled about what we just witnessed from the Bills in this game. The Baltimore Ravens ran wild on the Buffalo Bills right from the very start. Actually, the first offensive play of the game for the Baltimore Ravens resulted in a touchdown, an 87-yard touchdown run by Derrick Henry. So that was really just a precursor, an indicator of what the rest of the night had in store for Bills Mafia. It was a disaster. Nothing good happened in this game, that's for sure. Let's get to some comments. Spears Bills Sports Talk says, "I'm so empty inside." Honestly, I feel you. And Bills Sports Talk, Spears Bills Sports Talk is a member on this channel, and shout out to him. I appreciate you. You've been here for quite some time, always chiming in the comment section. If you want to become a member in the channel, you can click the join button below, and you'll get some perks included with that. Steph says, "Fire Bass, he is bad." We're going to talk about that as well, because this is something that probably needs to be addressed. It's a big-time problem when you can't trust your kicker in big-time moments. The Buffalo Bills got obliterated. It's pretty clear. This is the biggest issue right here. Derrick Henry, 209 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Would have been 3 touchdowns if he didn't fumble the ball. He gave a touchdown to his fullback, basically. Fumbled the ball, and of course, it was recovered by the Baltimore Ravens fullback. Just watching it initially, you didn't know who actually came out with the ball. You knew it was a Raven, though, based off Lamar Jackson raising his hands and celebrating. That was the kind of night it was for the Buffalo Bills. The Baltimore Ravens ran wild on them. 209 rushing yards from Derrick Henry. People are talking about how Derrick Henry, he's over 30 years old. He might be slowing down a little bit. Well, going to Baltimore, making the move to Baltimore, standing in a backfield with Lamar Jackson, that's a dynamic duo back there. That is something that can do wonders for your career as a running back. It's a really unpredictable offense, but tonight it was pretty predictable. I said in my preview video exactly how the Buffalo Bills were going to get attacked by the Ravens here. Now, I'm not saying I should be a head coach in the NFL, but it was pretty clear what the game plan was going to be. They're going to attack the linebacking core that is weakened due to some of the injuries, such as Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano both being out long term. That was obviously the game plan. You're going to rush the football. You're going to attack with tight ends. And the Buffalo Bills just had no answer for it in this game. That's a big problem. The first play from scrimmage, 87-yard touchdown run for Derrick Henry. I mean, come on. It's unacceptable. Now, you can one play, okay, that's fine. But for it to consistently be a problem throughout the entirety of the game with no corrections, that is a huge problem. And it wasn't just the defense in this game either. The offense, they had their share of problems as well. Everybody had a collaboratively poor effort in this game. It was just an embarrassing game for the Buffalo Bills. Comments. Sky Shark 127. Sky Shark, that's a cool name. It's frustrating when we lose games like this where we shoot ourselves in the foot and don't show up to play our best. And that's exactly what I was going to get to. Shooting ourselves in the foot. You're damn right. The Buffalo Bills shot themselves in the foot in this game on multiple occasions. First off, there's so many instances of thinking about this, actually. Let's think. You have going into halftime, the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson fumbles the ball when he's rushing it, and the Buffalo Bills recover the football. That's a big opportunity to get a momentum swing. At that point in time, score was 21-3. 21-3. You have a chance to put up some points, get a touchdown. Heck, even a field goal. A field goal would even be helpful at that point in time. But no. What do? You have to punt the ball. You have to punt the ball at that point in time. Going into the half. Horrible stuff. Because you need to come out with some points after you get a ball, after you recover a fumble like that in great field position against the Baltimore Ravens team who has been lighting you up all throughout the first half. You need to put up those points in a big time moment like that. The Bills offense, they were unable to do that. And they had that opportunity given to them by the Ravens who fumbled the ball. And right after that, what else happens on that same drive? You have this. Harbaugh, he's calling a timeout. 2 consecutive timeouts, a flag, and a free first down for the Bills. What do they do with it? Nothing. You have to punt the ball still. So really, the Bills shot themselves in the foot in this game, and it's a massive problem. Because you shoot yourselves in the foot against a good team like the Baltimore Ravens, a team that went to the AFC Championship game, a place that the Buffalo Bills are trying to get back to after going there once in the last few years, once in the last couple decades. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get rocked, smoked, obliterated, and you're going to need an O. Henry bar after the game after Derrick Henry runs wild on you. It's unacceptable. Steph, it was a horrible showing from the Bills all game long. Monkey Edits says we got whooped. We got whooped in that game. Absolutely. It was horrible. I appreciate the super sticker. Thanks for showing the love. Andy says, I think the injuries to the defense is catching up to us. Certainly looked that way in this game. 100% it did. The Buffalo Bills, if you're looking at the last few games, their last few opponents, who'd they get? The Arizona Cardinals. What happened when we played a really Cardinals competent offense? Kyler Murray's he's shaky at times, but overall he's a pretty solid quarterback. People like to talk smack about him because he likes to game and do a lot of stuff out of football. But overall, he's a pretty solid quarterback. He's able to move in the pocket, mobile, finds his players. Marvin Harrison Jr., it was his first game, and we did an excellent job of locking him down. Trey McBride, James Conner, they have solid offense. What happened? They scored 28 points against the Bills. That's the Bills. We're down 17-3 at halftime in the first game of the season. So you can't be shooting yourselves in the foot early in games, giving the other team opportunities to put up points, and you can't be trying to come back. You can't dig yourself the hole and trying to come back consistently. It's not a sustainable way of winning a football game. It's not. You do that against the Kansas City Chiefs, for example, you're not going to win. You do that against the Baltimore Ravens, you don't have a chance because they have a dominant ground game. And we saw it tonight. Derrick Henry with a historic performance. The Buffalo Bills got embarrassed on primetime television, Sunday Night Football. I was waiting all day for Sunday night. That was horrible singing. I was waiting all day for Sunday night, just like the Carrie Underwood song. And that's That's the result we got. It's unbelievable stuff that we just witnessed. Monkey Edits says 100% you and Tom Grossi are the best NFL creators. I appreciate that a lot. I love the stuff that Tom Grossi puts out. A lot of great content, and his script videos, they're pretty great, but to be mentioned there, I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Elijah Williams, 3-1 record is not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, but this was a big measuring stick game for the Bills. Let's not be soft on them. Let's be like, I agree. It's not the end of the world because the Bills, they have the opportunity to go up against some more good opponents that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. But 3-1 record, it's solid. But if you look at the teams the Bills have beaten, 3 wins: Arizona, Miami, Jacksonville, and the first big true test that you get in the Baltimore Ravens, you get smoked. It's not like this was a close game. No, the Bills got embarrassed. So it's like they were playing 2 different sports tonight. The Baltimore Ravens came out to play a grown man game of football, and the Buffalo Bills, they were playing varsity. They're playing Pop Warner football, or even they might have even been playing soccer for all we know, because they looked soft out there tonight. They looked really soft out there tonight. The Baltimore Ravens manhandled the Bills, and I'm as diehard of a Bills fan as you'll see, but I'm calling it how it is. The Bills got embarrassed tonight, and what we saw was unacceptable. They have a lot to correct before they go to Houston next week. I'm going to Houston next week, by the way, so stay tuned for great content from Houston, NRG Stadium, and I'm also making a surprise stop on the way, so stay tuned for that. But it was really frustrating to watch, and if you do that against the Houston Texans, it might be the same result. Houston Texans, they're not as good as the Baltimore Ravens. CJ Stroud's a solid player, a lot of good weapons. You're going up against Diggs. There's that whole feud going on as well. So both teams are going to be highly motivated for that game. And the Buffalo Bills, they need to come up with a much, much better game plan, both offensively and defensively. Because much like what we saw from the Ravens tonight, the Houston Texans defense is physical. They bring the heat consistently. If you watch that week 2 primetime matchup against Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams, they made his life a living hell. I know it's a rookie, it's his second game in the NFL, but they made his life a living hell. They were consistently pressuring him and forcing him to make bad decisions with the football. I just hope that's not what happens to Josh Allen next week, because if it is, we might be having a similar discussion as we are right now. But I do think that the Bills are going to take this time to game plan, strategize, and they'll come out with a better effort. They better come out with a better effort, or it's a big problem. Steph says, what about Keon Coleman? There is actually something I liked from Keon Coleman in this game. So Keon Coleman, in the first half, he really missed some opportunities. Two missed opportunities. First in the end zone, he had that target. It was really good coverage that he had against him. So forgivable on that one. But to close out the half, that dropped ball, it was right in his basket, and he dropped it. It was dropped perfectly into his arms, and it went right through, hitting the gridiron. That's something that not a rookie, you can't be doing that in the National Football League. But in the second half, he definitely made up for it with some great catches. However, too little, too late. You got to be better. Put forth a full 60-minute effort in a football game. Keon Coleman, I think he's got a lot of potential. He's shown some solid flashes through his first 4 games in the National Football League, but you got to be better. He knows it. I'm sure he's gonna work on that. And him and Josh, they seem to have a good chemistry together. It's just, you got to get that clicking in-game speed. Remember that these two, they didn't have much. Actually, Josh Allen played 2 minutes of preseason action. So him and Keon Coleman still kind of getting that on-field chemistry worked out together, probably. Keon Coleman, There's no excuse for that catch, though. Yeah, you have to have that. Andy says, did they show your account on the NBC on the pregame? I was told about this. So I was actually told about this. I had no idea. I haven't seen this. So I'm going to be looking for this. I've been looking for this. If anybody has a clip of me being featured NBC on the pregame football night in America, I'd love it if you sent that to me on Instagram or X. I'd really appreciate it. I'm really that's the best part of the night, honestly, for me. This was bad. That was a silver lining, I guess, from this game. Hey Jake, I'm here. Big Norm in the house. What's going on? Sad showing. They lost on my birthday week. Oh no. I hope you have a better birthday than what the Bills did tonight. Happy birthday. I still believe the Bills will win the 5th consecutive AFC East division title. I think so too. I don't think that's really, like, we saw what happened with the Jets today. They lost 10-9 to the Denver Broncos. The Miami Dolphins, you don't like to write teams off, but they'll play tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, against the Tennessee Titans with Snoop Huntley at quarterback. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with Tua when he comes back. If he comes back sometime in the next few weeks, whatever. He shouldn't be rushing back, by the way. But either way, I think that we'll see. Bills should win the division here. What do you think? Bills do better in week 5? I hope everything, honestly, is what I hope the Bills do better. They were awful everywhere around in this game. What do I think the Bills will do better this week? Really, you can only go up from here. This was like the worst game I have seen the Buffalo Bills play in years. You don't see Josh Allen getting blown out, but you did tonight. What's the last blowout that the Buffalo Bills had before this? Like 2018, 2019? It's not something that's a frequent occurrence, and they better not make this a habit or they're going to be in some trouble, especially going into the playoffs. Baltimore Ravens are a team that's going to be in the mix in the playoffs. So you need to be prepared to go up against tough competition. You're going to have the schedule is only getting harder for the Bills. The first three games look a cakewalk right now, because coming up later in the season, who do the Bills have? We got Detroit Lions, Los Angeles Rams, Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers, Jets twice, Patriots twice. The Patriots, they're not a good team, but they are an AFC East division rival. There's a lot of tough competition for the Bills ahead, so they need to be playing better against those big teams. More about tonight's game, though. As I mentioned, Ravens' first play from scrimmage was 87-yard touchdown run, and you'd think that they would have some sort of correction after that. But no. After that, the three opening drives for the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens' first 3 offensive possessions all resulted in touchdowns. So you put yourself in the hole right away, right from the very get-go. And that's a problem. Missed opportunities, we touched on that. Obviously, those missed opportunities in the first half. But how about the ones in the second half? The Bills, they looked like they were going to come back for a second, like they're going to actually make things interesting. Josh Allen with that massive, unbelievable play, rolling out to his right, and then he finds Khalil Shakir deep for a 52-yard gain. Ty Johnson with the touchdown rush. Who would have thought Ty Johnson would be the guy with the only touchdown for the Bills tonight? Who would have expected that? Ty Johnson gets in the end zone, and then the Bills make a stop. You think, okay, maybe this is going to be a game. Things are getting a little tighter. 28-10. No. Nope. All momentum was shot with the play. You know the play that I'm talking about. It was when Curtis Samuel lined up behind the offensive line as quarterback. It was a trick play. Curtis Samuel He does a little pitch to Josh Allen, who's lined up as a receiver. And Josh Allen goes to pass the ball, has the ball knocked out of his hand, and he gets smoked as well. Watching that play, the fumble, that was concerning. Obviously, the game at that point, it's like, all right, all momentum's killed now. Baltimore gets the ball back. But the thing, watching Josh Allen go down at that moment in play, at that moment in time, it looked serious. It was a real serious concern. Anytime you see your star quarterback go down like that, one of the top players in the NFL, you're going to have some massive concerns. That was the number one concern on that play. At that point, care about this game went out the window. But Dalton Kincaid was also shaken up on the play. Luckily, both those guys finished the game. They look like they're all good. But that play, that killed all momentum for the Buffalo Bills. And I think that really Joe Brady has done an excellent job as offensive coordinator since taking over last year at the midway point in the season. The Bills offense has been a force. They've been consistently putting up points, but tonight was the worst game he's called as offensive coordinator for sure. On the other hand, the Ravens offensive coordinator, he picture perfect game plan, picture perfect execution by the players. And that's what you get when you have a flawed game plan going up against an excellent game plan. The Bills, maybe their game plan was good, but when they went down, they just threw it all out the window and came up with something new, panicked. I don't know what exactly happened with the coaching staff tonight, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Whatever was happening in between those walls, not good enough. You're overcomplicating things at that point in time. Like, you still have an opportunity to come back, and you're starting to gain that momentum. Everything's looking like the Bills are going to put up some more points. Ravens fans are freaking out on X at that point in time. Like, oh, here we go again, because this is something the Ravens have had an issue with. The Ravens almost lost after leading, I think it was 28-3 over the Cowboys last week. The Ravens almost lost. Well, the Ravens did lose after having a big, significant lead over the Las Vegas Raiders in week 2. And the Ravens also lost in week 1 after leading against the Chiefs. It's been a recurring theme. But instead, the Bills shot themselves in the foot with that play call, handing the football back over to the Ravens and killing all momentum that they had. Not good enough. Let's get to some comments. Steph says, we didn't just lose. They dominated us and bullied us. They were Terminators. Yeah, you've got a point. They were bullying the Buffalo Bills physically in every way in this game. The Buffalo Bills, that was bad. Andy says that was the stupidest play I ever saw. That was right up there with the Damar Hamlin fake punt last season in the AFC divisional game. That was bad. Bad play calling. Joe Brady, I love him as an offensive coordinator. I think he's done an excellent job, but no, that's not good. That's really not good, because you're handing the football back over to the Ravens. I don't even know what the plan was there. He's going deep, launching it deep, and it didn't work out. Josh Allen got smoked on that play, and that's a concern. That was a brutal beatdown. KC, BH is in the house. KC, yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Bad Bills tonight. WWE SmackDown, yeah. It was like John Cena going up against, I don't know, Santino Marella. I'm trying to remember those WWE guys. That was bad. That was bad. If anyone, okay, let's make a WWE reference here. If anyone thought that Derrick Henry was done because he's over the age of 30, well, he just rose like The Undertaker tonight. There you go. That's your WWE reference. KC wanted to taunt us Bills fans. He's going to give you credit running QB when running for his life. Toss. You know what? Yeah. Josh Allen, this isn't a Josh Allen problem tonight. At the end of the game, he might have tried to play a little bit of hero ball, but he was pissed off after taking that big hit. Really, Josh Allen, he did what he could out there tonight. He was consistently being pressured. There was nothing going on around him except for bad things. The defense couldn't hold their own. It was tough. It was tough. We risked our franchise QB. Certainly did for what, a week 4 game against the Baltimore Ravens. It's I don't know about risking our franchise quarterback. I can see putting him in danger for sure. I'd agree with, but it's just a bad play call. Bad play call, and he got lit up. Nico says, if we score on the trick play drive, I think we win the game. I guess we'll never know, unfortunately. I guess we'll never know. But if we score, momentum was already shifting in the direction of the Bills. But if we score on that drive, then it's really going to be hard to stop that Bills team, slow down that momentum, because when Josh Allen gets going, he's a hard guy to stop. Just like that guy, Mahomes. Yeah. They're special quarterbacks, and when they get going, they're hard to stop. I watched that game today too. Mahomes, that was tough, and Rashee Rice went down with that injury. That was tough to see for the Kansas City Chiefs. Just overall, a really, really weird game against the Chargers. Classic though, classic for Mahomes to go down by 10 points and come back with a win, because they're the Chiefs. Yeah. The Chiefs always find a way to come back like that. No, it's not on Allen. It's not on Allen. Not on Josh Allen today. No interceptions still. That's a positive little nugget, I guess. No interceptions yet this season. Diet Coke. Where's this coming from? Diet Coke. This is so random. Are we about to have a Diet Coke Pepsi debate? Oh, you know what? Josh Allen is in the Pepsi commercial. And he's in the Pepsi commercial with Derrick Henry, which is ironic considering Derrick Henry owned the Buffalo Bills tonight. You know what else is a concern? This here. This little nugget. This stat information. Buffalo Bills tonight, 3 of 13 on their third down conversion attempts. That's a huge problem because so what I said in my pregame video before this game happened, I said that I anticipated that the Ravens are going to try to run the football. They're a run-first team, but they're going to try to run the football, drain the clock, keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. That's what they did, and they executed that game plan to perfection. When the Bills had the ball, what'd they do with it? Not enough. 3 of 13 on third down conversions. Those third down conversion attempts are so important because that's your opportunity to extend your drive. That's your opportunity to continue moving the football down the field. And you're not doing it. 3 of 13. You're put in third down situations 13 times. And you only get 3. Not good. And there's a lot of plays that were tackles for loss. The Bills were losing yardage on a lot of different plays, fumbling the football. Just everything was going wrong on the offensive side and more so on the defensive side. But both offense and defense were awful. And what about the third part of the game as well? The special teams. Oh, come on. Special team. The Bills couldn't do anything right tonight. They really couldn't. Tyler Bass gave me flashbacks again. So last year in the AFC divisional round game, he misses wide right. Wide right. Of course it was wide right to end the season. The Chiefs probably would have won that game anyways if they get the ball back. I understand that. But he misses wide right and deprives the Bills of any chance of coming back to win that game. And what happens this season? Well, week 2, if you don't remember, the Bills blew out the Miami Dolphins 31-10. Tyler Bass comes on. He shanks it wide left. Now, in a 31-10 game, it doesn't really matter. But when you have a kicker who obviously has confidence issues, I'm not Tyler Bass. I'm not in between his ears. I don't know what's going on in his mind, but I would assume that he's having confidence issues after missing such a big kick. That's got to wear on your mind a little bit. Don't you think? It's got to wear on your mind a little bit knowing that everyone in Buffalo, everyone around the National Football League is watching you under a microscope every time you try to do your job. I know it'd be hard for me to do my job if someone was consistently watching me under a microscope. So, like that, if you're a kicker trying to go out there and everyone's watching you, you have confidence issues. You do it again. You miss wide left again. That's a problem. The Buffalo Bills had problems offensively, defensively, and with special teams. And I think the Bills need to have a new kicker. I do. I appreciate what Tyler Bass has done over his first few seasons in the NFL. Former draft pick. I get that. He's had some good moments. And I really don't care who the Bills bring in at kicker, or even if that kicker starts anytime soon. But we need to bring in another kicker to at least compete with Tyler Bass, because clearly he has an issue. I don't know what the issue is, but he has an issue. He has a missing issue. How about that? An accuracy issue. Wide right last year, wide left, wide left. Guy can't get it right. So send me out there. I'm waiting to sign my contract. I got a Sharpie here. I'm willing to put the pen to the paper. And I can kick a 25-yard field goal attempt. Okay? That's what we'll do. Bass has lost his confidence. He has to go. I agree. And I'm sorry, Tyler Bass. This isn't a personal thing. It's really not. As a person, I'm sure Tyler Bass is fine. I don't know him. But on the field, he's costing the Bills. He's costing the Bills. Now, the Bills, if they make that field goal, do they win the game? No. But you at least got to give your team a chance. You're paid to kick the ball through the uprights, not wide of it. So do your job. The old Bill Belichick mantra was do your job. And Tyler Bass, not doing it. Not doing it. Well, he's doing it, but he's not doing it well. He's helping out the other team. We still got to remember, though, that players are human like us. Mistakes are inevitable. Yeah, I agree. Mistakes happen on the football field. 100%. But okay, here's the thing. If someone is deemed to be incompetent of doing their job and they have consistent opportunities to do it, are you going to continue? If you're the manager at a workplace and someone has consistently proven that they can't do the job, do you continue to give that person opportunities? The answer is no. So why is Tyler Bass any different? Tyler Bass, he's made a good chunk of money in the NFL. Better off than most people. He can find some other job. He can go do soccer, for example. Strike three, you are out. That's a good baseball reference. Like the Bills were playing baseball tonight. They're playing a completely different sport. And I'm really not trying. This isn't a personal thing with Tyler Bass. This is a clear issue on the field. It is. I was trying to defend him after last year. To everybody I've ever talked to outside of the Bills bunker, any person that's talked to me, knowing that I'm a Bills fan, saying, "Oh, Tyler Bass, what do you think?" Blah blah blah. I say, you know what? I think that Tyler Bass, he had an issue. He missed. He's been all right. Hesitantly. He's been all right in the past. But that's all it is. It's not what have you done for me. It's what have you done for me recently. And Tyler Bass recently, he's blown his opportunity. He's got to go. Or you just got to bring in some other competition and give someone else an opportunity. because it's frustrating. It's frustrating to watch as a fan, and it gets my heart rate up every single time that Tyler Bass comes on to make a field goal. It's like, oh, here we go again. It's the same. It's like if you had a lackluster goalie in whatever sport, hockey or soccer, you have a goalie that can't stop the ball, you're screwed. You have a kicker that can't kick the ball through the uprights. Well, you're not getting those points on a consistent basis. And it's always in some big time game, in some big time opportunity that he seems to miss. Philadelphia last year, he missed then. I don't care that it was raining. Kansas City last year, he missed. I don't care that it was windy. This year, Miami, weather conditions were perfect, by the way. Shanked that thing left. I don't care if it was blocked, tipped, whatever. That's on the special teams unit as a whole, not just Tyler Bass. Got to do a better job. Heck, how about last week, Monday Night Football? I'm watching from the top. I'm watching from my seat, so I haven't seen a replay of this yet. It looked like it got tipped, but Tyler Bass, I think, yes, it was tipped for sure. But still, kick, got to get it off quicker, I guess. And then tonight, wide left by quite a distance. It wasn't even close. I'm going to check out the comment section here. Can we promote Joe Brady to head coach? Is it time that we have that discussion? I think we'll have that discussion at the end of the season if the Bills struggle. If the Bills can't meet their expectations, then that's a conversation we have at the end of the year. But I think realistically, Joe Brady, as long as he doesn't have an offensive game plan like he did tonight, and he goes back to his old ways, like what we've seen for most of his tenure, then he is going to be in the running of being a head coach in the National Football League. He has a really incredible resume as an offensive coordinator or a position coach offensively. So he is someone who should look out for him to be a head coach in the NFL. You need to see the video being on pregame, hoping someone can find it. Yeah, I'm hoping someone can find that video as well. Football Night in America featured the Bills bunker. That's crazy stuff. I didn't even know about this, and I really want to see it. You know what? So that was a really cool moment. And for those of you who don't know, I was also featured on Super Bowl Sunday, CBS Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday. I was featured for my reaction to the Chiefs game a few years back. The first one that really ripped Bills Mafia's heart out. The one coin flip 13-second game. Yeah, that reaction got quite the response, and it was featured on CBS Sunday morning. So that was cool. If anybody has the clip of me tonight on Football Night in America, I'm looking for it. I'd love to see it. Send me a DM on Instagram at Bill's Bunker, or via X. I'd appreciate it. I really would. Thank you. I appreciate that stuff. Hello, Parker. I hope your night, I don't know, if you're a Bills fan, it's probably not the best nights, but I hope you're still salvaging what's left of it. Elijah Williams says Buffalo Sabres 4-1 in preseason and Buffalo Bills 3-1 in regular season. Yeah, the Sabres start soon. I got a lot of Sabres players on my fantasy hockey squad, so looking at Tage Thompson, Rasmus Dahlin, those two are some of my keepers, and they're a couple studs. So hopefully the Sabres can do better things this year, because they've got quite the drought. It reminds me of the old Bills drought. But back to football. Hockey season's coming, but football. Football is the focus of this channel. So the Buffalo Bills tonight, lackluster performance in all three phases of the game. We just had quite the rant about Tyler Bass and the special teams unit. Offense, we've touched on that. The game plan didn't work out. Some silly trick plays that killed the momentum for the Bills. Defensive game plan, I don't know if there was one because there's no adjustments. No adjustments made whatsoever. I mean, in the second half, they make a few stops and then it's lights out once the Bills. Really, it was the offense that didn't execute on. Okay, first half, the biggest issue was the defense. Second half, the bigger issue was offense. That's how I look at it because the offense, we'll start in the first half. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed in the first half. Got the ball back towards the end of the second half, towards the end of the first half. And then to start the second half, the defense comes out with a new fire, new energy, new life, gets the ball back for the offense. Bills offense scores some points. Bills offense goes out there again after another stop, and they kill all the momentum. And then the special teams just add on to it. So horrible all around from the Buffalo Bills. There's no ifs, ands, whats about it. This was a brutal performance from the Bills, and they've got a lot of stuff to correct. I don't care that it was a short week. They played Monday Night Football. These are professional football players going up against other professional football players, and they just got schooled. There's levels to this game. We're trying to figure out what level the Buffalo Bills are on. Everyone's been putting them up there at the top, and it's because they've consistently been among the Super Bowl favorites. Now, obviously, Josh Allen, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Anytime you have him, you have a chance to win any game. There's no chance tonight, though. There's no chance tonight. The Bills, they got to do a lot. They got to really correct a lot of things. Take time. Address this all on Monday. I guess it is Monday now. I guess it's Monday already. Good morning. So they gotta go have a good week of practice and then head to Houston. So the next road games for the Bills, this game tonight started a 3-game road trip for the Buffalo Bills. You have Baltimore Ravens, Houston Texans, New York Jets. 3 really tough opponents for the Buffalo Bills. People will say, oh, the Jets aren't that tough. But historically speaking, over the last few years, the Bills have had problems with them. So these are 3 tough, challenging games for the Buffalo Bills that are ahead before they come back home to play the Titans October 20th. Maybe that's a bit of an easier game, but you don't want to fall into any traps. So the Buffalo Bills heading to Houston next week, they have to correct a lot of things because it's not going to get much easier. The Texans, I don't think they're as good as the Baltimore Ravens, but it's not like they're a bad team. CJ Stroud is legit. Stephon Diggs, we know what he brings to the table, that's for sure. We know a lot about Stephon Diggs. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Joe Mixon, if he's back, Cam Akers, and then the defensive side of the football, they've got a lot of legit guys as well, and they're a ferocious unit defensively that they like to pressure quarterbacks, bring the heat, and play a physical style football, make quarterbacks' life a living hell. So it's going to be hot in Houston. It's going to be really hot in Houston. We'll see if that roof's open or not. I hope that roof's not open. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be sitting, and I hope I'm not cooking in the sun. I like some sun, but that Texas sun, I've heard it's different. I'm going to find out for myself, and I hope you stay tuned for all that content coming away live from Houston, Texas next week. It's going to be really fun. We didn't have an offense or defense. No, really. It was like the Ravens were just going up against Pop Warner level football players, or just some soccer players being thrown into the fire for the first time. It was not good. Bring back your reading stupid comments. Yeah, I do that after every Bills win. I got to find a way to do it this week. Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to figure something out for that because I don't know what to do for that this week. Well, I'll figure something out though. So stay tuned for that. Those are always a hit on this channel. KCBH. Maybe some praise from a KC fan for Josh Allen? Respect it. Game respects game. KCBH says, talk about the bomb he threw running out of bounds for a 55-yard touchdown. So it actually wasn't a touchdown, but it might as well have been. The next play, the Bills score a touchdown. That play from Josh Allen was insane. That's such an elite throw. Not many people are doing that. Maybe two. You know who the other one is. There's two players in the NFL that can make that kind of play. Josh Allen rolling out to his right. And it looks like he's just going to run out of bounds. He does this. It's like, why are you running straight to the boundary, running straight out of bounds? But no, he's just extending the play for as long as he can with his feet. And he launches that ball down the field for a 52-yard gain. Khalil Shakir hauling in the pass. And it was perfect pass right into the basket. Like, to run to your right, to roll out to your right and launch a laser like that deep is crazy, crazy work. So, awesome stuff from Josh Allen on that play. But that's the highlight of the game for the Bills. Other than that, not a good night. Not a good night for the Bills whatsoever. We'll see what happens next week. Houston Texans, Buffalo Bills. I'll be there, live from NRG Stadium. And October is going to be a crazy month for this channel. September was a great month. Hit over 6,000 subscribers. So thank you to each and every one of you that have subscribed on this channel. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. And all this wouldn't be possible without each and every one of you, with your comments, your support. It means a lot to me. Now, next month, content's going to be coming out consistently, pumping out that content. And it's going to be a lot of great stuff. Going to Houston. What do we got? Houston, and then the Jets game. So what I think I'm going to do for the Jets game, it's a primetime game, Monday Night Football. I'm not going to be in New Jersey. So what I'll do, it's the New Jersey Jets. I'll be here, and I'll do a live stream reaction, play-by-play throughout the entire game for that. So stay tuned for that, and I want to see you here for that live stream reaction. After that, we have Tennessee Titans at home, October 20th, a game I'll be at. I've got a lot of great stuff planned for that game as well. Interviews with fans, reaction live from Highmark Stadium. And then for the final game of the month, October 27th, I'm heading out west to Seattle when the Buffalo Bills take on the Seattle Seahawks. Going to see Lumen Field. Heard a lot of great things about it. The 12th man. Seahawks, the Hawks Nest. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great month. A lot of content coming away in October and all season long, hopefully into January and into February, hopefully. But if the Bills play like they did tonight, I don't know about that. We'll see. Got to be better. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jake Varco. This is the Bills Bunker. Go Bills. And go check out my reaction video that I posted right before I came on here. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Look at this. Look at this crowd. Look at this.
Yes, it makes us wanna shout. Shout!
1, 2, 3, 4 years in a row. AFC East champion.